Good morning. I was very sad that you weren't able to join us in class today, but I am still going to walk you through our little virtual tour of our class resources. Please be aware that this morning's Do Now question is posted on Google Classroom if you were not present in today's Google Meet. And in order to get credit for being present in class today, among other things, you do need to answer the Do Now question. So we're going to take a little tour of the class resources. Um, right now, what you're looking at is the homepage of our class website. You can see it right at the top. Ms. Richter's class resource page. I was not very creative when I named it. Okay. You should have gotten the link to this sent to your email. It is also available on Google Classroom, and I'll show you where in a few minutes. So this is the homepage. If you scroll down, if you need help with Google Classroom, there's the link right there. If you need help with translations, the information is right there. All of that information you will also find in other places. Okay, and also the basic class information sheets that again were emailed to all of you and were posted on your Google Classroom. Just notice that this one does not have the specific codes for Remind or Google Classroom because I didn't want those posted publicly. I update this page pretty regularly, so check back. There's always something different. For right now, the two things I want to point out are just two specific tabs. The first, our virtual classroom, which you'll see underneath, important paperwork, a link to current events, information, and some general set and honestly JFK information. Okay, we'll come back and look at those more specifically on another day. Also, if you hover over explorations, you will see that there is one page for each unit, and then it'll develop up over there. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the information. Our class information, again, notice that this version does not have the specific join codes on it, but the versions that were emailed and posted on your Google Classroom do. Okay. You can either look at it right here. You can read everything. All of the links work. Okay. Sorry about that. All of the links work. I accidentally clicked on the link to the website. Okay. Also notice, just like the versions you have at home or in your own accounts, if you click through to the second page, we have our virtual learning schedule, links to the website, Google Classroom help, and translation services. And if you click through to the last page, I'm sorry it's not a great copy right now, but you also have our link to our regular bell schedule for when we are back to in-school learning. That will hopefully eventually be important. Okay, so it's on the front page right there when you need them. If you click over and go to our class, okay, explorations, again, one page for each unit. And what you'll see right underneath is our weekly planner. Okay, you will always find the most current weekly planner right here on the website. You will also find the weekly planners posted to Google Classroom. Okay. Once the planner is no longer the most current one, it'll go down into its proper unit page as opposed to being out here for out here. Okay. I'll also tell you sometimes the whole planner is completed on Monday morning. Sometimes it's updated day by day, so check at it regularly. But here's what you want to see. So you click on the day of the week. Monday this week wasn't a school day, but if you click on day of the week, you have our learning objectives. These are our learning objectives for today. You have resources we used in class. So links to the class website, links to any documents we talk about, telling you that there is an exit ticket on Google Classroom. Next steps, sort of like homework, what you should do next. You want to finish up your welcome survey and make sure you answer your exit ticket. If you're looking to get ahead, there'll be some information there. And this video that you are watching can also be found nice and neatly right here. Although, as you can see, when I'm recording this video, obviously it's not posted yet. And you'll find this information for every day. Generally, it'll be updated in the morning, with the exception possibly of the recap videos, which may take a little bit longer in the day to get up. Okay. The recap videos obviously are primarily meant for those of you who didn't make it to our live meeting, but they will also be helpful if you need to review something, if something confused you, anything along those lines. It's one more resource. Okay, one last thing I want to point out under our virtual classroom. Right. We are, in our class, going to be doing current events. You'll be required to turn in current events twice a month. In our class, they'll be due on the 15th and the 30th of every month. So you have current events due in a little over a week for the first time. When you come to the current events page, you will find, just like it says, links to reliable news sources. Okay, all different kinds of news sources: CNN, Vox, The Week, Associated Press, NJ.com, NPR, BBC News, okay, Asbury Park Press, Al Jazeera. Okay. You can also find copies of blank current events sheets, but I will stress that you want to always double check the assignment on Google Classroom, because sometimes there's going to be restrictions. It has to be an international story, or it has to be a story about careers in STEM. And we will talk tomorrow or Thursday in a little more detail about what's required of you in your current events, but just be aware that right here from the class website, you can find information that's helpful. There's also, just so you can see, other resources, more technology help, some help with research, writing. I will admit the last few years I have not kept the website up to date very much. So you very much want to keep checking back, because it will now be updated on the regular. Okay. The last thing I want to point out is Google Classroom. And right now I'm on the classwork tab. Those of you who are looking closely will notice that I'm in period 2's classwork tab. All of you will have the same information posted. And what I specifically want to point out is the first thing you should see on your classwork tab is a post called Getting Started. And in that post is just some getting started information. Your class information, including the actual course codes, which again were also emailed to you, link to the website, directions for signing up for the Remind text messages, which if you've never used them before, that can be helpful, our course overview document, which we'll look at in much more detail tomorrow, and for those of you who need help with translations, translation support, and it goes over really how to do translations in almost any kind of document. Also, just underneath, you will find login information for Infinite Campus, today's exit ticket, and by the time you see this video, if you go to your Google Classroom, you will also see the welcome survey, and a few other things will probably also be posted. But I fully admit that I'm recording this video about a week before school opens, trying to get ahead. Okay, so this is an overview of what we went through in class today. I hope you found it helpful, particularly if you were not here. As always, if you have any questions at all, I encourage you to either message me through Remind or send me an email. I am generally very quick at responding, particularly if you message me through Remind or send me an email, because of course those alerts go right to my phone, same as you. And I can't not look at my phone when it makes noise. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Please make sure that you've completed all of the required work for today.